Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in another episode of the Quran in English, Basics for Beginners. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Right now, Joseph is basically the de facto king of Egypt, right? He's got a very, very high senior position. He's in charge of all the finances of the land. He's basically the boss there because the very survival of Egypt depends on the way that he has stored the 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of drought. Now they are going through a very, very difficult time in Egypt, as well as the surrounding areas. Remember, the surrounding areas were not given news of the dream of the king of Egypt, nor were they given the warning, the prophecy that there would be 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of great, great hardship and difficulty. So all the other lands were now going through great suffering and difficulty, and the only place that provided food was Egypt. So people from all over the country, all over the surrounding area, would come over many, many days to come to Egypt in the hope of trade so that they can get some food. Remember, the basic thing they want now, there's no need for clothing. They don't want free holidays. They don't want gold. They don't want diamonds. They want nothing. The only thing they want is food. And we know that from Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the basic need for any human being or any society, first and foremost, is food. Your basic survival instincts. You need food, you need shelter, you need safety, and so on, right? So there's no time to think about the higher aspects of life, whether it's the arts and so on. The main thing here is just basic survival, your primitive instincts to survive. You need to get food. So now his brothers come into the royal kingdom and they're facing a magnificently powerful, inverted commas, king of Egypt, who is going to distribute resources, and it is up to him. He is the sole individual decision maker who is going to decide if they're going to have food or not, and he's going to decide if their goods are worth bartering, and he's going to decide if they're going to get any food and how much food they're going to get. And little do they know that they are facing their very own brother, who they wanted to assassinate, who they sold into slavery. Now let's take on the story. Then came Joseph's brethren, his brothers. They entered his presence, and he knew them, but they knew him not. And when he had furnished them forth with provisions suitable for them, he said, "Bring unto me a brother you have of the same father as yourselves, but a different mother. See you not that I pay out full measure, and that I do provide the best hospitality?" So he gave a very cryptic question, and they did not think long enough to figure out how did he know that there is a brother with a different mother. And remember, the 10 brothers were from one wife, and the 2 younger brothers, Joseph and his younger brother Benjamin, known as Benjamin. So Joseph and Benjamin were from a beautiful wife of Jacob. Her name was Rachel or Raquel, right? She was extremely beautiful. And because of her beauty, amongst other things, we have the beauty of Joseph or Yusuf alayhi salam. So now he wants his younger brother, right? That is his blood brother, not his stepbrother. He wants his blood brother to be next to him without revealing his identity as to who he is. But because he is the big boss here in the kingdom, no one dares to ask him why he has made this request, because otherwise they won't get the food. So they say, yes, sir, yes, 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 no, we'll do that, we'll do that. We know exactly what you want. What you want, we're going to sort it out. We'll get it. We'll get the other brother. We do have another brother younger than us. So there's no questions asked, and they'll say, no, we'll get it sorted out. Lekker. Now, if you bring him not to me, this is a warning. If you bring him not to me, you shall have no measure of corn from me, nor shall be you even come near me. But I'm warning you, if you don't bring that little brother of yours, who is your brother from the same father but a different mother, I don't want to see your face again. I don't want to see your faces again. You don't even come into my royal palace. I will not even give you any food. You're going to die from starvation. So be very clear what I'm telling you. You better bring that young guy here, right? If you know what's good for you, you better bring him here. They said, "We shall certainly seek to get our wish about him from his father. Indeed, we shall do it. Yes, oh boss, yes, no, we'll do it. We'll do it. No, whatever you ask, we'll do it." Now look how these 10 brothers who were at one time so arrogant and who thought that they had the upper hand over Joseph. They wanted to kill him. Now basically they are crawling on their hands and knees, begging to be given food, and whatever the king wants, they will give it to him. Whatever Joseph asks for, they don't even know it's Joseph. They just know it's someone at a very high position in the royal kingdom, and he's asking for a younger brother. Yes, no problem. You want a slave? We'll get you a slave. No problem. We'll organize it. Don't worry. We'll organize it. We the right guys. We'll organize it. We want to be friends with you. You just tell us what you want. Yeah, no problem. We'll organize it. We know exactly what you're asking for. And Joseph told his servants to put their stock in trade with which they had bartered into their saddlebags, so they should know it only when they returned to their people, in order that they might come back. Now these people were so poor, his brothers were so poor, they brought all the goods with them, whether it was pieces of furniture or the chairs, the table and chairs, or little money that they had, the old clothes that they had. So whatever they had in the house, their cutlery, their dishes, they emptied their whole house out. They had nothing more to give in stock and trade, because now they just wanted food. Now can you imagine if you're going through starvation? So you got nothing to eat. You can't eat your cutlery, you can't eat your tables and chairs. So they're giving over all their jewelry or all their cutlery and now their whole house is empty. Now Joseph knows that they've brought basically everything. Their house is empty. They will not get an opportunity to come back. So basically, he told his servants, the royal guard, you know what, just replace the goods. They mustn't know about it. Just with the corn, in addition to the bundles of corn, just return all the goods. So when they return home, they don't have to wait another 2-3 years to find other things to trade. They can basically come back immediately, because he's now anxious to be reunited with basically his younger brother and then eventually his father. So now he's anxious now. Now he wants the reunification to happen without any delay. Now, when they returned to their father, they said, "Oh, our father, no more measure of grain shall we get unless we take our brother. So send our brother with us, that we may get our measure, and we will indeed take every care of him." The words are echoing in the same way they said, "We'll take care of Yusuf or Joseph," right? Alayhi salam. And the father said, he said, "Shall I trust you with him with any result other than when I trusted you with his brother aforetime? But Allah is the best to take care of him, and he is the most merciful of those who show mercy." So look, two important factors here. One, the same message is being repeated by the 10 brothers. First, they told Joseph many years ago, "Send Joseph with us, we will look after him." Now they're saying, "Send Benjamin with us, we will also look after him." So it's a repetition of what they asked the father. And the father knows exactly what they are asking. And look how the memory of Yusuf is in the front of his brain. He's thinking about his first, at least he's thinking about Yusuf all the time. His heart is broken, but he knows, he's got hope that Yusuf hasn't died. Because when the brothers showed him the shirt, which was drenched in blood, but the shirt was not ripped to pieces by a wolf. So he knows that these very sons of his are not talking the truth. So now he's wondering, how can they believe them? What are they up to, right? Then, when they opened their baggage, they found their stock in trade had been returned to them, and now they're very excited. They said, "Oh, our father, what more can we desire? This, our stock in trade, has been returned to us, so we shall get more food for our family. We shall take care of our brother, and add at the same time a full camel's load of grain to our provision." This is but a small quantity. We will get much more. Just let us take our brother to him. The king is asking for him. We need to get him. The prince of Egypt wants it. Jacob said, never will I send him with you until you swear a solemn oath to me in Allah's name that you will be sure to bring him back to me, unless you are yourselves hemmed in and made powerless. Other than that, there's no excuse, right? And when they had sworn this solemn oath, he said, over all that we say, be Allah the witness and guardian. Further, he said, O my sons, enter not all by one gate. Enter you by different gates. Not that I can profit you anything against Allah with my advice. None can command except Allah. On him do I put my trust, and let all that trust put their trust on him. Now, the mind and heart of Jacob was also concerned now for his younger son. So now he said, you know what, y'all are now going as a body of 11 people. Y'all entering the gates of Egypt. Y'all are all strangers coming there, and you're going to arouse suspicion that what is this big group coming here into Egypt, and they may mistake y'all for bandits. And I'm worried about my youngest son, Benjamin. So I don't want someone to attack you or the people to arrest you, because now you're going as a big gang, as foreigners into this land. So do me a favor. If there's 4 different gates, north, south, east, and west, go 3 at a time, small groups, until you'll meet up in the middle. And I'm just giving you this advice because I'm just a bit concerned. But Allah is the will of Allah will happen. Whatever is written will happen. But take your precautions. You know, whatever Allah is written to be done will happen. But this is what my heart is telling me, that please take this precautions, right? And when they entered in the manner their father had enjoined, it did not profit or benefit them in the least against the plan or the will of Allah. It was but a necessity of Jacob's soul which he discharged. He just had this feeling that he had to do that, right? And we as parents, we all get that feeling for our close and loved ones, right? For he was, by our instruction, full of knowledge and experience, but most people know not. Join me in the next episode. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.